So welcome back to Fair Criminal Friday. For this case, we are going back to Australia, specifically the well-known popular city of Sydney. You may have not have heard this case, I guess, unless you're from Australia. I was able to find limited information. I don't know if it was because I live in America and they didn't want to release that much information to the public. I don't even know a date of birth for our killer or our victim. So just heads up on that, because it's an international case, you know those are. However, I will be able to tell you that they are sisters. So spoiler on that, I guess in case you haven't already seen the title and the thumbnail. So that being said, I'm going to quit my rambling, give us public to know down below. Credits to the show Deadly Women, specifically I think season 5, episode 12, for me finding out even about this case. And so that being said, I'm going to quit my rambling, and let's go get started. So we're going to start with Kathleen. Kathleen apparently was born with congenital adrenal hypoplasia. I'm going to put this on the screen so y'all know what I'm talking about. Basically, it was a condition that gave her too much testosterone. Obviously, that's for men, and her being a woman, she's supposed to have estrogen. So apparently, once she starts hitting puberty, she apparently would have a deep voice and grow facial hair, as men are apparently supposed to. And of course, her being a woman, the facial hair alone probably would have gave her insecurities, but the deep voice definitely would have gave her insecurities. So then she gets put on a medication. Could not find the name of the medication, but apparently there's medication for this. And however, they would get side effects, so you would no longer the facial hair and apparently the deep voice. However, you would suffer weight problems, which again, her being a teenager, she's going to obviously be insecure about. So apparently she stopped taking the medications secretly, so she doesn't have to do with the weight gain. So then, like I said in the beginning, Kathleen has a sister named Susan. Susan, like I said, does not suffer from any of these problems. So apparently she's a lot prettier, she's getting a lot more attention. So obviously Kathleen's going to be jealous of Susan. So she starts planning on ways to kill Susan. So I guess to get Susan out of the way of competition. She apparently goes and buys knives from Kmart, because like I said, this is the early 2000s, so Kmart's still a thing at the time. She apparently even went and messaged her friends claiming that she was going to kill Susan prior, so letting them know in advance, like, hey, I'm going to kill my sister. And they obviously told her not to. They never went to the police or anything about it. She then apparently goes into Susan's room one night, I assume one of the knives that she bought from Kmart, while she's asleep, and was planning to stab her in said sleep, but apparently right before she could, she apparently changed her mind and just left the room. So the fateful day of October 10th, 2008, pretty much, apparently Kathleen, according to her, she claims that she was trying to use the computer, connect to the Wi-Fi, but couldn't because apparently the Wi-Fi password had been changed. So instead of asking Susan, who she saw as competition, what's the new password? Because maybe she didn't change it, maybe someone else did. Because again, both the parents lived there, can be one of them. She decides that I'm going to go to my sister's room, wait till she comes out, stab her 50 times, obviously that killing her. She then calls their dad, confesses, hey, I killed Susan. I guess hung up, called 911, confesses to the crime, police comes, she's arrested. They do a psych eval on her, realize that she's mentally impaired apparently. She's sentenced to manslaughter and gets sentenced to 6 years. And apparently while in jail, so while she was serving her 6 years, she would tell her mother that apparently she was beaten by a guard after rejecting his advances. However, apparently this was never proven. Doesn't prove that it didn't happen, but apparently it was never proven. And then unfortunately she would sadly die on August 1st, 2010. So not even like a full 2 years after the murder. And it said that she died from basically a blood clot in the lungs, and with obesity being like the second cause of her death. So those two things combined is what killed her. Apparently at the age of like 22. So now both the sisters are now deceased. So that's a plot twist if you've ever seen one. Like I said, if anybody's heard of this case, then let me know down below. If anybody from Australia is watching, because I've seen my YouTube stats. While there's not a lot, I know some of y'all are from Australia, because the YouTube stats have been showing me some of y'all from Australia are watching. So if you're from Australia, specifically Sydney, hi, if you've heard of this case, then we know. If you knew other victims, Susan, the killer, Kathleen, anybody in the family, how they're doing now, now that both daughters are dead, definitely let me know. And so with that being said, I cover fatal females 3 times a week. Subscribe for more fatal females. I'll see you guys next one. Bye.
And you got